What is up, nerds? This is Mr. Storm, and we're going to look at the budget spreadsheet assignment today. This is a big assignment, and I'm going to show you how to put it together very quickly. Again, I'm not going to do the whole assignment for you, but I am going to show you what I'm looking for. So first thing, we know we need a spreadsheet, so let's go ahead and open up Google Sheets. And we'll create a new blank document. Now, some of you are probably going to be tempted to go, oh, there's monthly budget right there. Let's click it. Don't do it. Start with a blank document, okay? Because we're looking for specific things with this assignment. So we want to make sure that we include all the things that are being asked for, right? Without having, you get what I'm saying. Templates usually take you down the wrong path. In this, it's just much more simple if we focus on the assignment itself. All right, so I'm going to call this budget assignment, okay? And let's take a look at the description. All right, so there are at least two forms of income which are added together to show the total incoming. Well, okay, so let's go over here and let's do something like incoming. And then I can do, income 1, income 2, and income 1 is going to be, let's say, $2,500, and income 2 can be $1,000. I can do total income. And then I can just do an auto sum and be those two. Okay. So now I have my auto sum, and I can change these values now if I need to, because it auto updates. Good. So now I have those. That's one done. Make sure there are at least 10 expenses which are added together to show the total outgoing. Okay. Outgoing. Expense 1. Okay, I have all these expenses. Now you're probably going to want to label your expenses, so instead of calling them expense 1, you'd say like rent or utility, gas or power, things like that. I'm just for the sake of time, I'm just going to call mine expense 1, expense 2, expense 3. If you turn in your assignment and it's the expense 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to lose points. Make sure you label your expenses and your income as well. All right, so we'll say this is $100, and we'll say I'm lucky all of my bills are $100. Okay. Now I want to split the month into two separate pay periods and apply the expenses appropriately. Okay, so this is where we start getting into pay period 1. And we'll say we have those 5 expenses, and we'll say pay period 2, and we'll do these 5 expenses. Now, again, for the interest of time, I'm doing mine easily, but you have to think about this now. This is important, okay? You have to think about what you're doing here. Let's say this expense is rent, right? House payment, right? My mortgage. Now, I'm going to pay my mortgage once a month, so I can pay it the first of the month, right? Because that'd be my house payment. But let's say this right here is groceries, right? Groceries is not just going to be a once a month expense, because if I only buy groceries once a month, my produce goes bad, my bread goes bad, we run out of groceries, it's not a good thing, right? So you're going to want to have groceries in both pay periods. So, for example, let's say I spend $600 a month for groceries, right? Well, down here, I can have groceries and groceries, okay? Now, I don't want to just put in 600. Let's go ahead and get rid of these. I don't want to just put in $600 for groceries, because I want to be able to change this number and update these values whenever I want. So what I'm going to do is write a formula that uses cell references equals, and I'm going to do B, what is that, 9? B9 divided by 2. Okay, so now it's half. And I'm actually going to copy this formula and put it over here. So now it's half of what it's supposed to be. Right? It's half of what this number is. And I can change it. Let's say I want more, groceries. Okay? So now I can change that. So you have to think about what expenses need to be paid once a month and what expenses need to be paid twice a month. Okay? So I'm just going to do equals B8, because you want these to be cell references as well so that I can update these. So my house payment will be $700. Okay, so you want those to be updated. Make groceries $9.50. Okay, so now those things are going to update as they go. I'm just going to use this to filter through. All right, cool. And then same thing over here. We'll do equals B13. Why not? Doesn't matter to me. And we'll just fill this down. Now, again, I'm just flying through this quickly so I can show you kind of what the end product should look like. For you, all these cell references are going to work. All of the numbers are going to look nice, and they're going to be exactly what they need to be. So, again, I'm just doing this quickly. All right, so there must be a savings field that tells you how much you should save out of your incoming 10 to 20% of income. All right, so some of you may have noticed I have not done a total outgoing yet because I'm going to put the savings down here as well. So savings. And my saving is going to be 10 to 20% of my total income. So savings is going to be a formula that looks like this, equals B5, which is my total, times 0.2. Okay, so that's $728, right? And now again, I can change this number. Let's say I get a raise and I start making $3,000 a month. That changes right here, and this changes because it's a cell reference, right? Okay, now I can do my total. Total outgoing, and I can just do a sum. That's pretty easy. And boom, enter. Okay, perfect. Everything must auto-update, obviously. We've already been working on that, making sure we're using cell references. There must be at least one chart that displays data from one of the data sets on your spreadsheet. Okay, so we can create a chart. Let's go ahead and grab all this stuff. Boom, right here. I want to make sure I don't select my total outgoing because I don't want that added into the chart. So I'm going to insert chart. And instead of a bar chart, I'm going to make it, or column chart, I'm going to make it a pie chart. Because pie charts are great, right? Pie charts are the best. Okay, and honestly, everything looks great. I don't need anything else, so I can just grab that, and I'm going to shrink it down. Kind of bring it, I'll bring it over here. It looks nice right there. So that shows my total expenses. I want to use cell borders and cell shading to section off each set of data. So I can go up here, and I'm just going to create, I'm just going to do that, and then, so that has a border. I'll go over here and do that. And I'm just adding borders to everything so that it's easy to see which parts belong to which. Now again, if there's a way that you want to do this, if you have preferences for how this stuff should look, it's completely up to you. I'm just making this look the way that I think looks nice, but it's completely up to you how this stuff should look. I'm going to add a little bit of cell shading to this. That's a little dark. We'll go here. Add some cell shading for my data. or for my headers. Okay. And then this stuff. Actually, I think about color code. So incoming should be green, right? Because green stands for money. So make green. We can make outgoing red because my money is going away. And up here we can do these as blue. That works. We can do, I don't know, let's do that. We'll do this a little darker. Let's make this one purple. Why not? It's fun. Why not? Okay, so cool. So now I have color coded, things are ready to go. And I'm going to make these bold as well, just because, make it a little easier to see. Okay, cool. Everything's labeled so I can see which section holds which data. I've already done that. Cell borders, cell shading, at least one hyperlink. Okay, so I can go down here and I can type my bank, and I can turn this into a hyperlink. Go up here and click the link button, and I want to link to www.americafirst.com. Click apply. And so now I can click on that and it'll take me to my bank. Okay. All values. Okay, cool. So now I have a clear budget that tells me what I'm bringing in, what's going out, what I'm paying each pay period. I have some visual representation of my data. I have a hyperlink, all that. Now this is a very quick, I very quickly put this together. Obviously yours is going to be tons better. You're going to want to make sure that you've labeled your income, right? You want to make sure you've labeled your expenses. Okay, you're going to want to make sure that these make sense, and these cover every single expense that you have, right? The worst thing you could do is have an expense here that you don't cover in your pay period breakdowns. Okay, so this would be like the first paycheck we get, like the first of the month. This would be the second paycheck, so like on the 15th of the month. And you should have all your expenses covered in these two breakdowns. Your visual pie charts are great for these. I love using a pie chart for this kind of example. I do this exactly, this is exactly what I use for my budget, for my monthly budget, so I can see how much money I'm putting toward each thing, which is great. But yeah, again, play around with these numbers, and this is for you 10 years in the future. So think about what your job is going to be in 10 years. Look at how much it's going, how much you're going to get paid. Use realistic numbers, realistic rent, car payment, stuff like that, and put all that stuff in there. Okay, this is a great tool that you're going to definitely want to use as an adult, is having a monthly budget that you can put in numbers and it changes and it auto updates and things like that. So work on your budget, turn it in. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for paying attention, and I will see you next time.